Hey, it's Daniel. Back with another video finally. A lot of people want these videos, so I'm going to make one. Android Studio, new project. We'll call it Constraint Layout. I'll just name it Layout first. Let's do that. Enter, 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 and that'll open up a new Android Studio project for us to work with. And I'm on my new MacBook Pro, which I love, very fast, love it. And we got some layout. It's still rendered. Okay, there we go. So I want to talk a little bit about Constraint Layout. You may have heard of Constraint Layout before. It's kind of the new layout, the new kid on the block, so to speak. You have, let me open it up. So layouts. So I'm in Android view, and let me do something. Let me make the font size a little bigger. I think that's under editor, no, I think it's under fonts and colors, fonts. And we'll make this 25 just so you can see it better in the video. So that should be nice and big. So I'm going to go, I have Android Studio up with a new project, and I'm going to click on the Android view here. It just sorts it better in a way I like. Personal preference. You can choose any of them if you want. But let's go into layouts and main activity. So click on main activity, and here's our main activity. You can see there's some text in the middle. It says hello world. And this, if you look at it, is actually, let me do the keyword shortcut. It's actually Constraint Layout. So here you can tell it's Constraint Layout. That's what you have there. And by the way, to switch between the code, basically what I'm doing is I'm switching between the design and the text at the bottom. And so you can do that with the keyboard shortcut. It's Shift, Control, and the right arrow button. You can just toggle between those two. It's just a fast way to get. And by the way, this text is super huge. I never have it this huge. This is just for the demo. So I want to get started with Constraint Layout, think of it kind of like relative layout and a little bit like linear layout. But with Constraint Layout, you can have very flat designs. This means that there's only one, like you can just put a ton of text views. So text view, text view, text view, text view, and you can align them all out instead of having to go like linear layout, match, match, and then having to put something else inside of here like a linear layout, match, match. And so if you do it this way, it kind of diminishes performance. So if I were to put a text view here, match, wrap, or whatever. So you have nested layouts. You have Constraint Layout, you have linear layout, you have linear layout, you have text view. So this text view right here is inside of 1, 2, 3 different containers. So a Constraint Layout, a linear layout. Basically, this is kind of a bad way to do things. As I said, performance-wise, you're going to want to just use Constraint Layout. Just trust me on this. So how do you use Constraint Layout? So I'm going to go ahead and use the keyboard shortcut, which is Shift, Control, right arrow. I got to remember that myself. Let's make this a little bit bigger, and so you can see that in the video. Hopefully you can see it well enough in the video. And so we got rid of our text view, so we don't have anything there. So the Constraint Layout is designed to work well with the new editor, and I'm in Android Studio. I think it's so 2.3. So that's what I have. I'm pretty sure this is the latest. I think pretty sure it's the latest. Anyway, so Android Studio, what was that? 2.3. I forgot. 2.3. Yeah. So there we are. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a text. Let's do some basic stuff first. Let's get a text view, and I'm going to click and drag it into position. Now, from what I can tell in the documentation, you can put it anywhere for now. But I've come through trial and error to discover that you have to set you have to set its anchor points in 2 different places, from what I can tell. And for this, I'm just going to do a top and a left. So let me first go into text view, or go into the text view, and we're getting an error here, and I think I know what that is. Yeah. So basically what I'm about to explain here. So you have our parent, what do we call it? Element, or element or whatever, and we have a text view inside of there. And it's complaining for a number of reasons. First, we need string resources there, which you should always use string resources. And if you don't know that, just request a video and I'll make one. I don't know what kind of videos you like, but anyways. So we have text view. But right now there are no constraints. So let's see if we can change that. So I'm going to click on this. So you see some like little circles on there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to click this top one and point it up to the top, and the left one I'm going to drag it over to the left, and I'm going to let go. I'm going to go back into the text view, and you can see we have 2 new tags. We have the constraint to top of and we have the constraint to left of. So basically what that's saying is, hey, for this text view right there, what I want is I want you to align it to the top there of parent, and to the left line it up with parent. So if we go back and look with the keyboard shortcut and we look at it, there it is. So say we want a button. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click and drag a button down there. I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to undo that actually. I'm going to get a button and I'm going to push it. This isn't working for some reason. I'm going to put it there for now. See what we're doing wrong. Button. Let's see. Let's go ahead and pull that down. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so from what I can tell, we haven't lined it up with anything yet. So let's go ahead and align it up. So the same kind of thing. And I'm by the way, I'm working from top to bottom for a specific reason. easiest is what I found. And as I use it more, I might make another video updating it. But this will at least get somebody an overview of what constraint layout is. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the top middle circle here, and I'm going to click and I'm going to drag it up to the one above it. So that links it to there. So if I were to go inside of here, now we can see to bottom of, and then we have the ID here of text view, and the text view basically comes up right there, and that's the text view. So we have the top anchor point set. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the left anchor point. So I'm going to click that the middle circle arrow and align it there. So now let's see. And now it says to left of parent. So parent in this case is the constraint layout right here, because all this text view and the button are inside of the constraint layout. Here's where the constraint layout ends, and this is where it begins. Anything inside of there is all in the constraint layout. And normally you'd have like a scroll view, you'd have a linear layout, you'd have a relative layout, and you have all these different layouts and hierarchical stuff going on. But this will get you started. So we need to do a couple of things. We need to make this a string resource. So I'm going to hit Option Enter, a string resource, and that'll be the name. We'll just say OK for that. And if we do Command P strings, we can open that up. And actually, Command P won't work in your case. I have that remapped. Let me open that up. I have it remapped to something else. So I went under, I forget where it is. Wherever it is. Oh, key map. Here it is. And so I did Control P. What it is, yeah, search everywhere or whatever. Basically, you can just open it up in the left. It's under values, and you can go to strings, and there it is. So it created that button layout for us, which you always want to do. And so now it's, what is it complaining about? No, we did. Not sure what that's about. Oh, I know. So it's the same thing here. I'm going to do Option Enter, extract string resource. We'll name this title. So now I'm going to Control click on that and do title here. So I'm going to save that, go back to activity main, and I'm going to do the keyboard shortcut to get into the other view. And so if I wanted to keep going with the text view, I can keep doing that. So I can add on, let's see, what else should we do? Say usually you'd use the wherever it is. I forget where it is now. I don't see it. Anyway, there's a new input type for, and I forget what it's called, but anyway, it's in there somewhere. But say you wanted a text, I could just drag this down here somewhere and do the exact same thing. So moving it around doesn't really do anything. As you can tell, if you go inside of here and I go to the bottom, we have our edit text here. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. All we need to do is 2 of those for it to work. So I'm going to do the top one. I'm going to click and drag up to this other arrow, or to the, whoops, I messed it up. Control Z to undo that. But maybe I did do that. Control Z. I mean Command Z. Okay, I'm going to redo that. Sorry. Let's start over. I'm going to put it down there. I'm going to pull it down there. I'm going to pick this arrow here, and I'm going to drag it up to the middle icon arrow there and let go. Let's see if that worked out. It's hard to do it on a. It's hard to do it on a touch. I need to get a mouse. I'm going to go ahead and let go there, and there we go. So now if we go back into our, we should see, yeah, so to the bottom of, and this is a new attribute, by the way, so to the bottom of button 2, and button 2 is right up here, and button, that's the button right there. So now we need to do it again. Let's do it on the left side. I'm going to click and drag it out a little bit, and let's go back into there and see what it is, and we can see to bottom of, to left of parent, so to left of parent right there. So this is what you do with constraint layout. It's used, I'm used to doing it all in XML just because I like that kind of control, and you can have it's just easier for me. But for the first time ever, this is actually to a point where I almost prefer doing it using these tools here and just clicking and dragging them in. So let's go ahead and run this just to run it. And I have a virtual device up of 5x. Actually, I don't have it up, but it'll start up here in just a second. So, but this is constraint layout, and this way, they're all different kinds of, like oh, I didn't even get into this. If I select something and look over to the right, we have here's the emulator. Let's look at it really quickly while it's up. Android, it's loading. I'm on a pretty fast machine, which I love. That's the new MacBook Pro, late 2016 with the touch bar, i7. So here it is. So there's our button, there's our title here. There's all our stuff right here, and we can, yeah, so there it is. That's the layout. Let's rotate it back. And so let's go back to inside Android Studio. So if you look inside Android Studio, you can see we have some new, and I'll get into these probably in another video, but you can, like, say I select something, like say I select this input right there, I can kind of toggle between like wrap content. Like this is probably more useful for text views and stuff, but say I wanted to line it up also to the right side, I could click and drag that out there. Did I do it or not? Let's see. It's hard, like I said, it's hard to do it in to left of. I don't think I did. There we go. So we should have a to bottom of, to left of, and here's to right of parent and to left of parent. They both specify the parent there. So I'm going to save that and run it. And let's see what this looks. Oh, so basically, so we need to go back in Android Studio, and there are a number of different layouts, like how you want to, like, I forget what they're called. So they're wrap content. I forget what that one is. Fixed. There we go. So let's save it. I'm going to run it again, and let's pull this up and see if it's okay. There we go. So now it's taking up the full width. So we can rotate that, and there it's taking up the full width now. So basically what I did there was I selected something in here, which is this edit text that I have, and if I switch, if you put your mouse over there, you can actually see what it is. So this one, it says match constraints. So basically what it's going to do is it's going to match, like, and we set it to left of parent and to right of parent, like we talked about, and we have some other stuff going on there which I might get into in another video. But this is basically constraint layout, and I could just keep adding edit text, text views. I could add all kinds of stuff, but basically what you need to do is I've found it's, at least for me, it's easiest to start from top to bottom, and then to set at least 2 points, a top and a left one, or a top and a right one, or whatever, like one vertical one and one horizontal point. And you do that by using the circles, not the corners, but the circles that are in the middle. So this is kind of a quick overview of constraint layout. Not sure what's going on there. Let's rotate this back. I think it's upside down. I don't know what's going on. Oh, there we go. Anyway, so this is constraint layout. If you want more videos, let me know and I can make more. I've just been really busy. I got a new job. I'm working as a web developer at a local company, like 8 minutes away from my apartment, which is great. I'm in Austin, Texas, by the way. Go to the Android Developers Meetup. But anyway, so this is constraint layout. Hopefully it got you started. I've used it for a number of projects now, and I've played around with it, and I kind of like it. You can do a lot with it, and if you look at the layout, it's really flat. So basically our constraint layout there, which starts there and ends there, there's only one layer of stuff inside. So basically all these text views and buttons and edit text, they're all on the same level, and there's all kinds of stuff you can get into. I haven't even experimented with a lot of the stuff it has to offer, but it's pretty nice, and hopefully you found this interesting and want me to make more. If you do, just leave a comment, and as I have time, I will try to make more. But anyway, constraint layout in Android Studio 2.3.